And I know my family is better off with me still employed by the district.
Okay.
So that's my reasoning. I do not want to take on that.
Dan, I don't understand why that's your job. Why wouldn't that be Coach Kiefer's job? Or the trainer?
I'm in charge of the athletics.
Is that right? Okay.
Just
Dan,
like I certify them academically, it's an indirect certification. When they show up, it's my stamp of approval.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
okay, but you've got that certification. Does it specifically say who shall certify?
On the COVID form,
Yeah.
ultimately it's me.
No, I mean, does the PIAA have a office or person in mind?
For certification of its athlete, for school's athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the principal. It's high school principals across the Commonwealth of PA.
Okay.
There may be other signatures on the form, but ultimately it falls on the high school principals.
So when will they be able to practice? Football team, any of the other sports teams?
That would be something you guys would need to determine.
Okay.
Not at all until we figure this motion out.
I guess.
All right. In light of, all right, I'm trying to throw some wording out. In light of the district's contact tracing efforts and identifying all potential exposures to COVID in our student body in the high school, the Montoursville Area School District Board of Directors hereby certifies that the sports teams schedule for activities this over the weekend of October 30 and 31, right, Dan?
Thursday is cross country.
All right, 29th through the 31st. The board hereby certifies that these teams have been determined to be, what's the right word? Determined to be,
To the extent feasible.
to the extent. Does the form itself, what's the form language say, Dan? How's the form worded?
Has total number of coaches and staff, total number of athletes, cheerleaders, band. This is to certify that the following were screened for COVID-19 symptoms before boarding the transportation to the competition venue and were found to be symptom-free and below the 100.4 degree temperature threshold. And then it continues with all the other language of what the symptoms are.
The board certifies that our athletic teams meet the requirements of the PIAA's COVID-19 certification requirements for athletic fitness with respect to COVID-19.
And that all known contacts are excluded from participating. Right. I mean, I guess how you said it's fine.
When does this take effect?
Well, we're going to certify it right now if you want to use my language.
Okay, so that this, setting football aside momentarily, soccer plays Friday. Dan, am I correct?
Yeah, soccer's Friday.
So that it would not prohibit that then?
Track's Thursday
Cross country's Thursday.
or cross country.
Yeah, I said October 29th through the 31st. It's just for this coming weekend's activities.
Today, 29th.
Hey,
Okay.
Dave. We're doing remote learning on Thursday. Is that okay then? I mean, we'll be doing
We're still
remote
in-
learning today and Thursday.
We're in session.
So Dave,
Yes.
Scott, would that prohibit us from anything, putting a final date to that or not? Would we be okay after that going back to normal, I guess?
Well, reason I put a date on it is because due to the circumstances, we're going to own this. We're taking
Right.
the response, we're owning this, and next week's a new week. Next week's a new week.
Right, but you have kids who are gonna be out, I guess. Yeah, okay. Thinking more into it than I need to, I guess.
Brandy can look at the video to get the wording and square it away.
Do you need a second for that, Dave?
Yeah, Tom, I can make a motion,
Do you
can I,
need-
Tom? Hey,
Yes.
Tom, I can make a motion, can I, Tom?
I thought you already did.
Well, I mean, I'm getting wording out there. Can I do the motion as the president?
Yes.
I think I can, yeah, okay. All right, that's my motion.
Second.
Any more discussion? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
I think you better do a
Aye.
roll.
Oh, you want to roll call vote? Okay, Brandy, are you still up, dear?
I'm here.
Hey, girl.
Mr. Albert,
Yes.
Dr. Barry,
Yes.
Mr. Kunkel,
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Marriott has left for the evening. Dr. Mathers has left for the evening.
Her
Miss-
phone went out or her internet died, so she's gonna try to dial
Okay.
back in.
Okay, sorry. Mr. Ruffing,
Yes.
Mr. Schimmel,
Yes,
Mr. Snell,
Yes.
Mr. Almer.
Yes.
is that it? Anything else?
Move to adjourn.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn. We have a second. All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't do public comment. So we'll pretend we didn't hear that last vote. Sebastian, are you awake, brother?
I'm awake.
All right, I see hands already, so.
Okay, so we will get started. And you guys know the drill. If anyone in the public would like to comment, please raise your hand at this time. We'll allow you 3 minutes to speak, and we ask that you please state your full name and address before doing so. We're going to start with Keith Bennett.
Hello all. Again, I want to thank you for the time you've put into this tonight. I think you still have a pretty loyal following here in the public, sticking with you through all this. I know, there was a lot of confusion here at the end. So I'm clear, you are clearing all team members of each of the teams to participate, regardless of the contact trace list?
No,
No, not-
only those that can be, that are not on the contact list.
Okay. And then are practices able to reconvene immediately, starting tomorrow, or today, actually?
Guess Thursday, was that the date?
Well, Thursday is the first competition for cross country, but today's Wednesday now. Would practices take place today at normal times?
The buildings are closed. We've really solved the sports issue in a sense. I don't know why they couldn't, just because the buildings are closed for cleaning.
Again, it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear in the motion there, so I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, no, that at 1:25 in the morning, that's gonna escape us. The buildings are closed. They can't use the building, so I don't know what that means.
Well, there is no need for buildings for the sports in question, so.
Yeah.
Tom, this question's for you real quick. The motion that we made and passed was for sports from the 29, 30, and 31. So I think that we do need to vote on letting them go back to practice today. Am I correct?
Except they don't need Dan to certify them to practice. So is it just the issue of we were giving the power to certify for the competitions?
Yeah, because our health and safety plan for sports is still, well, we could do that, Ron. I mean, yeah.
It allowed
Well, I
practice during hybrid, so I don't know why that would be any different. Your only issue
Oh.
is some football equipment is probably in locker rooms.
I think it's the field house under the bleachers.
It's been a mix during hybrid, so I'm not sure.
And that's why I
They've
asked
been using
Tom
the
the
locker room.
question. And that's why I asked Tom the question, because I wasn't sure whether everything covered the practices or not. And I want to make sure that we make it clear all around.
But I mean, it doesn't hurt to have the motion. It might be redundant, but let's somebody make that.
Yeah, and Ron, to go back to what you were asking, I think the original intent of the motion was just speaking to competitions, not necessarily practices. And I echo what everyone else has already said. But if Dave, if you want to entertain that motion, feel free.
Yeah, let's do.
Mhm.
Bill, you gonna give us one?
Yeah, well, I'll make the motion that sure, the practice can begin Wednesday.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Second.
not gonna be in the buildings.
Okay, we have a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Wait.
Oh, sorry, discussion, sorry.
Yeah, Dave, before we vote on it, let's, this is something new that, let's wait till after all the public comments are made, before
Okay.
we do the vote.
Yeah, okay, good idea.
Anna?
Okay, good, and close the window there, Sebastian. So our motion, read that again to us, Brandy.
We have, the first motion I have is to resume practices on Wednesday, October 28th.
Okay. We have a motion in the second, and I think we've discussed it. Ready for a vote, or anyone want to discuss it? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, ayes have it. And the other thing, Brandy, what was that?
It was to deal with contract tracing.
Okay, all right. So we have it's defined for us. There's no mystery about it. DOH, and I'm not even disputing it. DOH says within 6 feet for 15 contiguous minutes. So there it is. That's not hard to understand. What the problem is, our philosophy, I don't believe, should be that if we're not sure, we think it might have happened, we're going to put them in the box. We're going to rope them in and say, yeah, that's risky there. My philosophy is that if we aren't sure, we're not going to penalize them, because we are penalizing them. We're penalizing them for 14 days. If we super cautiously apply contact tracing, and that's, so I don't know how you put a philosophy in a motion. I don't know how you put that, that mindset in a motion. That's what I'm wrestling with.
Perhaps you would want to say that you will not follow the DOH guideline in that aspect.
So Christina, DOH does say, if in doubt, rule them in.
What I'm hearing from Dan is that they're saying, if in doubt, rule them in.
Okay, so the Montoursville School District policy on contact tracing as defined by DOH with the 15-minute contiguous minutes and within 6 feet, that shall be applied
Definitively.
definitively. I had some wording, darn it.
Sorry.
Shall only be applied if there is reasonable certainty that it occurred. So we're only going to apply the contact tracing rules if there is reasonable certainty that it occurred. It's kind of the inverse of reasonable
I'll
doubt.
second that.
Okay,
I'll second that.
all right. It's
Reasonable certainty. That's a little oxymoron there. Certainty or not certainty? Reasonable.
if-
Well, and Dan said the kids don't have masks and they often stand around and watch each other do.
Yeah, but we're talking about, did they stand around and watch the case? Were they right there with the case for 15 contiguous minutes? And if we don't know that, when in doubt, leave it out. That's the mindset. When in doubt, leave it out. Don't penalize the kid. If we just don't know, leave it out.
You're acting like contract tracing is penalizing our kids on purpose.
If it's indiscriminate, it is.
Yes.
If it's indiscriminate and flawed, it will be.
And then if that kid gets it and takes it home to their grandfather who dies, like literally we're liable because we voted to go against the guy. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm with Dottie in the science on this one.
There's no way to prove that. There's no way to prove it. You'd have to do genetic tracing on the particular virus to know where they got it from. That's just not going to happen.
So if we report them as contract tracing, we exclude them, but the Department of Health would have to actually do the quarantine. Is that correct?
Folks, I got 3 grandkids that bring their stuff home every day to their grandfather, me. I'm one of those ones that's in that category. In fact, let's one up this. Do you know what this is, Dottie? It's a Holter monitor I've been wearing for 30 days. Okay? I'm not going to live in fear, folks. Probability wise, it ain't going to happen. And I'm not going to worry.
Thank you, Dave.
The likelihood of those kids having it is just low.
I'm not living in fear, Dave. I'm just being reasonable.
I don't think it's reasonable.
Science, I follow the guidelines. You know,
I think
I'm not yelling at you. I'm not making fun of you. Please don't make me and say I'm living in fear, because that's not true. I go to work, I go to the hospital, I go to critical care where there's COVID patients. I do my job. But I also try to keep safe.
Well, me too. And you won't see me going in the store anywhere without a mask. Absolutely.
Okay. There's difference between living in fear and there's difference between following the science.
What I'm saying about this contact tracing is that this target audience that we're dealing with, their risks are incredibly low, incredibly low. There's other things that they are more likely going to be impacted with in life that could harm their health. So if you aren't sure that indeed they met the 15-minute 6-foot criteria, don't penalize them. That's what I'm saying. Don't penalize them if you just aren't sure. And I don't want to say prove it if you can't prove it without a reasonable doubt. I mean, yeah, just be sure. And if you aren't, then it's done. There's no way.
Call the question. Can we just take the vote? I mean, it's gonna land how it lands with the majority. So I don't know that it's worth arguing about.
Thanks, Sue.
Brandy, you want to read that motion back? Or do you guys want that motion read back?
Yeah, please, Dave.
I didn't get the whole thing down, so if you could repeat it, that would be great.
Oh, that ain't gonna happen. Sebastian, rewind the tape. All right, you can get it off the tape tomorrow. We, so, all right, well. Sebastian, can you actually look at that or not? Not till later.
No, I can't rewind.
Okay, all right. In the motion, I mean, it was, and Brandy, I assume you'll get it tomorrow, but the motion was that, geez,
Not follow the contact tracing.
Dave, your language was you stated reasonable certainty, I think was the
okay.
way that you had indicated. If I understand what you're trying to go for correctly, it sounds like that if it's uncertain based upon contact tracing efforts that an individual or individuals, if you're unable to determine whether or not they were in close contact with the case, then it would be the policy of the board going forward that you would defer to not quarantining those individuals if it's uncertain whether or not they did come into close contact. Does it sound about right in the ballpark?
Well, if it's uncertain they met the contact, the exposure criteria of 6 feet for 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, that's the idea. Brandy, you can pull the language tomorrow, the day after, I guess. Roll call vote on that?
Need a second, I think, don't you?
Oh, didn't we get?
Hang on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
on,
Go ahead,
Dave.
Ron.
Just
Go
a
ahead.
second. I just want to, my comment is I want to make a statement after this vote. I don't want to, I'm letting you know now so I can do it before we adjourn.
Okay. All right, Brandy, roll call.
Do you have a second on that?
Didn't you second it, Dale?
Yeah, I have Dave and Dale on that.
Okay.
So, Mr. Albert,
Yes.
Dr. Beery,
No, sorry.
I believe Mr. Kunkel is gone for the evening. So Mrs. Marriott is gone for the evening. Dr. Mathers,
No,
Ruffing,
Yes.
Mr. Schimmel,
Yes.
Mr. Snell,
Yes.
Mr. Ulmer.
Yes.
Motion passes. Ron,
Okay.
go ahead.
And actually it's I guess it's a statement plus a question that includes a question. The shop classes are one of the areas that was concerned made to me about students not wearing their mask. And Dan, you said that it was unsafe because of some of the machines that the kids were, the goggles were fogging up. What I want to bring to your attention is for 16 years, I worked in a factory where safety glasses were a requirement. You had to have them on all day long. And when the goggles were very seldom used, safety glasses were used with side shields on, which gave you the same protection as safety goggles. And for people with prescription glasses, there were side shields given to them to put on their prescription glasses. So my question, I guess, would be, can we get safety glasses for these students? because there's less chance of safety glasses fogging up than there is with goggles, even though goggles also have vent holes in the sides of them to try to prevent the fogging up, but sometimes they do fog up.
I guess I misspoke. They do have the safety glasses with the side shields on them. It's when you combine those with the mask, and I go through this with my regular glasses. If I don't wear my glasses right on my masked face, they fog up all day. So the issue is when they're wearing that mask combined with the safety glasses, they get that fog.
And you just brought up a point. If you don't wear your glasses right.
Well, I have to wear them wrong so that they don't fog up. So they sit on the end of my nose rather than on the bridge where they should be. If I leave them on the bridge of my nose, they fog. And that's the problem with the safety glasses. If they don't wear them on the bridge, they're not doing much good. They're not covering the eye. So that condition where the glasses are on the bridge of the nose and they're wearing the mask is causing the glasses to fog from the bottom up.
Okay. Okay.
So when
I
they then
understand.
lower the mask, because we don't want them lowering the glasses to the end of their nose, those have to stay on up to protect the eye. They lower the mask, the fogging stops.
Could they wear the mask with the face shield though? Like would the face shield serve the same purpose as the?
No, the face shield isn't the level of protection
Oh.
that the safety glasses are.
And I understand what you're saying, Dan. Has anybody checked into a spray that you can get that you put on the glasses so they don't fog up?
I have not. I have tried a few things myself. Nothing has worked. They claim mayonnaise, but I don't want to smell that all day.
Well, I do want to say that if a student is having problems with their safety glasses fogging up, that pulling it down below their chin is not needed. If they're having if they pull it down below their nose, so their mouth is still covered, it would be a lot better than putting it down underneath the chin.
But many of them are savvy. They know the mask order, and it says when operating equipment, they can remove it. So that's what we're stuck dealing with.
That mask order can be changed.
That's the governor's mask order. Well, I guess a lot of things were changed tonight, so.
That's right.
All right. Have we completed it?
Wait, who's gonna call PIAA and tell them we're not forfeiting?
Yep. Dan, if
Yeah,
I
I'll
assume,
take care of those calls.
yeah, Dan, if you get pushed back, would you please get to our solicitor? They shouldn't have run ahead like that. All right. I think if they give you pushback, I think our solicitor needs to jump on them with both feet.
Yes, we need to find out why they jumped the gun.
Okay.
You can let Fred and I know if necessary.
Okay. All right. I guess we retrieved that motion to adjourn, so let's do that again. Sue, you want to do last time, right?
Yes, move
All
to
right.
adjourn.
All right. Bill, you want to second on that?
Oh, I'd love to.
All right. All in
Second.
favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? I'm sure no one is. All right. Good night, everybody.